Some things are meant to be seen, some things are meant to be forgotten, and some should never exist at all. Tonight, we bring you the chilling story of a mirror that did more than just reflect reality. Stay until the end, but be warned, this story may make you think twice before looking into your own reflection. The mirror that shouldn't have been there. Naomi never liked antiques, but when she moved into her new apartment in 2009, she found one already waiting for her. It was an old, full-length mirror, propped against the bedroom wall. Her landlord told her it had belonged to the previous tenant, who had left in a hurry, abandoning most of their things. She planned to get rid of it, but every time she tried to move it, something stopped her. A creeping, irrational fear settled into her bones whenever she touched the frame. It was just a mirror, she told herself, but deep down, she knew. It was watching her, the first sign that something was wrong. For the first few weeks, Naomi tried to ignore it. She worked late shifts at the hospital, coming home exhausted, barely glancing at the glass as she got ready for bed. But one night, she caught something strange. She had turned away to switch off the light, and in the mirror, her reflection didn't move. Her breath caught in her throat. It lasted only a second, a trick of the eye, a delay in her tired brain, but the feeling of wrongness lingered. She started avoiding the mirror, dressing with her back to it, but the more she ignored it, the stronger the feeling became, like someone else was in the room with her, the unwelcome visitor. The first real sign came on a night like any other. She was brushing her teeth, glancing up at the mirror, just out of habit, and her reflection blinked, but she hadn't. Naomi dropped her toothbrush, stumbling backward. Her reflection smiled, a slow, unnatural smile that stretched too far. And then, it moved. Stepped forward. Naomi screamed, slamming the bathroom door shut. She refused to go back in until morning. When she finally opened the door, hands shaking, the mirror was normal. Her reflection was just her, but something was different. The room smelled wrong, like dust and something rotting, the growing fear. After that, things escalated. At night, she heard soft tapping from the glass. She started covering the mirror with a sheet, only to wake up and find the sheet crumpled on the floor. And then came the worst part. She started seeing herself in places she hadn't been. Walking past an alleyway, she glimpsed a woman standing at the far end. Same height, same face. Naomi froze. The woman smiled, a too wide, too familiar grin, and then she stepped back into the darkness and was gone. The truth about the mirror. Naomi couldn't take it anymore. She called her landlord, demanding to know who the previous tenant had been. There was a pause on the other end of the line. Then she went missing. Naomi's stomach dropped. She left everything behind, her landlord continued, voice uneasy. Just disappeared. Her blood ran cold. Was she still here? Was she still in the mirror? The final night, Naomi decided to end it. That night, she grabbed a hammer. She would shatter the mirror, break it into a million pieces. She stood in front of the glass, heart hammering. Her reflection stared back at her. Then it tilted its head. Slowly, mocking her, Naomi lifted the hammer, and the reflection moved first. It raised its own hammer, even though Naomi's hands hadn't budged. Her breath caught. Her arms wouldn't move. Her body wouldn't move. The reflection smiled, and then it stepped forward, and Naomi stepped back. The empty apartment. The next day, Naomi's boss called the landlord. She hadn't shown up to work. The apartment was checked, and it was completely empty. No signs of a struggle. Nothing missing, except for the mirror. It was gone. Only an empty space remained, where the glass had once stood, as if it had never been there at all. Some reflections follow, some replace, and some just wait for the right moment to step through. If you ever see your reflection move when you don't look away. Because if you do, you may not be the one who walks away.